The sound of a keyboard nervously clacking and the sheer adrenaline rush of the thought of being caught stealing data from important entities are two of the things that made us want to become real-life hackers after watching numerous Hollywood blockbusters where such an illicit action was made to look breathtakingly cool. And thanks to the release of more and more thematic video games, we can now experience this special sensation by taking a stroll through the gameplay of 10 gaming titles that make you feel like a real-life hacker. In Gunpoint, you are a shady spy who has to break into heavily guarded buildings and steal data for his private clients. All of these daring missions involving a lot of toying with security passwords, reinforced doors, and electrical systems that need to be shut down. Your weapon of choice is the Crosslink, a device that lets you manipulate the wiring of each level, so you'll most probably feel like a crazy hacker ninja electrician hybrid while playing this game. An online hacking game where you'll find yourself in a constant state of fight or flight. Hacknet will have you fight tooth and nail for your hard-earned digicoins that could be stolen by another player in the blink of an eye. A game with an obscenely steep difficulty curve, Hacknet is the EVE Online of hacking games, posing new and improved challenges every time you dive into its insanely intensive, demanding gameplay. Filled with mind-bending puzzles and a lot of challenging tasks, TIS 100 is going to make you push your boundaries in major ways, being the spot-on title for gamers who constantly dream about becoming hackers. With gameplay based on a lot of logic and mathematical problems, this video game is not for lazy players, all of its intricacies and clever mechanics being nothing more than just the outer shell of a much more sophisticated core. Quadrilateral Cowboy has the unique ability of putting the idea of hacking into a larger context, leaving behind the static environments of other games where you would just sit on a desk and write infinite lines of code. No, here you get to sit at the cool boys table, being part of a team that is conducting heist after heist, and in the most exotic of places, outer space as an example. The commands that you have to work with are simple, but the thrill of this game is quite an impressive and rewarding one, Quadrilateral Cowboy being a true pleasure to play. The spiritual successor of TIS 100, Shenzhen I is a puzzle game where you take control of an expatriate who is living in industrial China and whose job is to build all kinds of devices for various clients. Similar to other hacking games mentioned in our list, you'll have to tinker with various numbers and nudge them from one node to another in order to successfully finish the projects that you've been assigned to. Uplink is the very title that comes to mind when someone mentions the idea of a hacking sim. Its rich content and gameplay giving way to various scenarios where you'll be breaking into networks to alter records, steal data, and delete unwanted files. But Uplink takes it a step further, introducing a meta element too, allowing you to tweak the game files themselves if you happen to bump into some difficulties while you're playing the story. Very much in the same vein as Uplink, Hacknet puts you in the role of a computer user who is jumping from IP to IP and is mingling with the most obscure hacker communities while trying to make a name for himself in the competitive world of data theft. With dense gameplay and a nice assortment of missions to take care of, Hacknet will definitely keep you busy for many hours in a row, being the ideal cure for your hacking addiction. Even though Enter the Matrix might not be able to ideally emulate the original universe of the acclaimed motion pictures, there is an aspect of this game that really excels. It definitely has a surprisingly rich hacking system that lets us believe that we're really about to make a breach into the system. This game is immersive enough to make you feel like you're making a big deal by hacking into programs and altering with the world order, so it's more than worth playing. Watch Dogs 2 has a scenario based on a romanticized idea of hacking, the type of story we often see in Hollywood movies, but even though this approach is a little less technical and, for that matter, less nerdy than the rest of the games on this list up until now, its overall setup and gameplay make it an excellent gaming title. Filled with lots of explosive action and dealing with real-life issues, Watch Dogs 2 paints a very in-depth panorama of the world that we live in today. Similar to Watch Dogs, Deus Ex exposes its players to a lot of action-infused scenes, but it also has an underlayer which is much more complex and needs a good portion of your brain power. A wide variety of puzzles will have to be solved while roaming the cyberpunk world of this game, and the fastest way to do so is by hacking your way into the final solution. Deus Ex is regarded as one of the best video game series ever released, and it is definitely not an overstatement. And that was our list featuring 10 games that make you feel like a real-life hacker. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below because it really does help, and why not leave a comment while you're at it. You can also check out GameBite.com for even more from the world of gaming, but until next time, thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic day.